Well, hey, y'all. So, the past few days we have picked as much produce as we possibly could. So, right now we're just kind of waiting for more to come up. But one of the things we noticed, our tomatoes are growing beautifully. They're not ripe yet, but we did notice some blossom. So we are going to, and what that is I'll show you an example of it, but we are going to use dry milk, and we are going to mix it with some water, and we're going to put it at the base of the tomato plants. And I'll show you what those look like, and we'll give it a couple of days after we do it, and we'll see if it helps. Generally it does, but if it doesn't, we have other things that we can do as well. But generally the calcium will help. It's going to storm later, so let's get out there real quick and see what we can do to help our tomatoes. Let's go. All right. So let me show you some of the ones that I found. These had actually already fallen off the ground. And we got one of our aromas. You can see that. Yep. Okay, so first things what I'm going to do is just go around and I'm going to check all of them, and if any of them look like this, I'm just going to pick them. I'll give them to the chickens. The chickens will eat them all up. On one of them, I actually did find a worm as well, so I'm going to give that to the chickens as well. But after I pick them all off, all the ones that have the rot, then I'll mix up some of the dry milk with the water, and we'll pour it at the base, and I'll show you that as well. And it should take, let's say in about 3 days, we should see some progress, and hopefully the rest of the tomatoes that are on the plants that do not have this will be healthy, will grow better, and we'll have some really nice tomatoes soon. So let's go. All right, so we got some of our dry milk. Super cheap. We always keep some on hand just in case, because you never know. You can use it for all sorts of different things. But for today, we're going to use it for our tomatoes. So I'm going to it doesn't take a lot. I'd say like 1/4 of a cup, 1/2 of a cup. Depends on how many tomatoes, how bad they really are. But I did about 1/3 of a cup, 1/4 of a cup. I'm going to fill this all the way to the top, and I'm going to go around and just right at the base of the tomatoes, I'm going to pour, once again, about 1/2 a cup to a full cup of the powdered milk water, and that will help add the calcium to the tomatoes and prevent the blossom rot. I just want to show you, find the base of the tomatoes, and we're going to pour. Yep, and we're just going to go down all the tomatoes and pour them at the base. And like I said, it's getting ready to storm, so they'll get plenty of water for today. I'm just mostly adding the calcium. All right, so I have watered all the tomatoes. We even have some that came up volunteer in the herb garden, so I went ahead and did those as well. But while I was out there, I did notice some okra, and I went ahead and picked some of them. Now, most of them are not going to be ready for about another day or two. After this rain, it should be on point. But I went ahead and picked some, and I wanted to show you, like, these sizes with the okra, my hand's not very big, are perfect. If you get too big, you want them to be nice and soft. They can get like crunchy, then they're not as good. So, and okra is one of those things, like literally you can go to bed and they're like this big, and the next morning you go to pick them and they've exploded. It's crazy how fast they can grow. So anytime I see any that are ready, and the good thing about them is you can freeze them and they're just as good. So generally, as they're starting to become ready for the season, I go ahead and just pick, like this is only 3, but we picked, I'd say about maybe 15 to 20 yesterday. So I add these with them, and we'll go ahead and mix them up for dinner tonight and everything. But then as they get where it's a whole bunch of them, we'll go ahead. Don't ever want them too big. Unless you're letting them grow to seed, then I'll show you how to do that at the end of the year. But for right now, we're trying to eat these. So as they get ready, within the next day or two, we'll harvest a whole bunch of them, and then we'll cut them, and we'll freeze them, and then we'll cook them. So okra and tomatoes, like I said, about 2 or 3 days, and I'll show you the difference, okay? Other than that, y'all have a blessed day.